Avatar: The Last Airbender is by far, in my opinion, one of the greatest American animated television series that has come out in many years. I say that because a lot of the things in the new millennium I haven't really enjoyed, but that's just my opinion. Now, this video is about the series finale, which aired July 19th, 2008 on Nickelodeon. Now, I'm just going to give a quick opinion about what I thought about the overall episodes of it. One word: awesome. The dramatics were not over dramatic. The action was by far the greatest, and the comedy were in its right places, and they were in the places where you expected them to be. Now, I'm going to get into a few things because a lot of these things are on forums all over the net, but one of the things that I wanted to address I wanted to actually ask is, what do you think of Greg Baldwin's performance throughout Book 3? Now, as you know, Mako, the original voice actor of Iroh, passed away before wrapping up everything else. So, what did you think about that performance? I thought the performance by Greg Baldwin was okay. I mean, it was good. I'm not going to lie to you. Still good, still Iroh, whatever. A lot of the people are actually upset when it came to shipping. Now, we have to get over this, people, that sometimes the creators, they really don't feel that a relationship should exist, no matter how much the fans may actually want it to happen. Now, you have to understand that the whole relationship between Zuko and Katara, it could have made sense if Zuko wasn't still in love with Mei. He kind of broke up with her because he had to carry on his mission with helping the Avatar. Not to say that he wouldn't have returned to her afterwards, but which was the case, that they both fell in love with each other again. And you have to understand that you can't just because two people are locked in catacombs or fighting an evil sister who's on the brink of insanity and you're protecting each other, doesn't mean that you two have fell in love. That's not how it goes. Zuko has always loved Mei, and as you've seen even from Book 1, that Aang and Katara have always had feelings for each other, even if they were confused and brought things to a halt because of the invasion on the Fire Nation. So I guess it was inevitable as far as that relationship goes. A lot of people were even complaining about the whole Sokka and Suki relationship, as far as why didn't Sokka get paired up with Toph instead, because both of them seem like they could have been in a relationship together. But Sokka does love Suki, and that isn't going to change. And then when you kind of think about it, people who are still with the whole Yue and Sokka thing, Yue was kind of a shallow female love interest, considering that she became the moon spirit and left the earth plane. I won't say the D word, I won't say die. Okay, I just said it, but you understand where I'm coming from. But overall, the series was great. A lot of people are also, they really didn't get enough closure. I'll admit it. There wasn't a lot of closure on the end of Azula. After Katara chained her up in what appeared to be a good fight, not great. I felt that Katara could have done a little bit more than just chained her up, but they say simpler is usually better. And after chaining up Azula with a simple technique, Azula kind of lost it completely, and villainous breakdown. There you go. There's nothing left to be said. I don't know what her fate was, whether she was imprisoned or whatever. She probably was imprisoned, but she was probably isolated because she was thought to be too dangerous. And I guess it would have been a more dramatic ending had Aang go against his own beliefs and just completely killed former Fire Lord Ozai. But he didn't want to go against his own nature, so instead he did something much worse. He took away his ability to bend. Don't know for how long, probably forever, as he said that he's taken away his firebending and he can't use it to threaten or hurt anyone ever again. So that story is done. I didn't like the fact that we weren't too clear about Azula's confrontation with her mother, whether it was a mere hallucination or not. It probably could have been a hallucination, but the conversation was so in-depth, it makes you wonder. And then when Zuko, or should I say Fire Lord Zuko confronts his father, he wants to know where his mother is. We aren't told an answer at all. I shouldn't say necessarily, we aren't told anything at all. But toward the end, when they were at Iroh's tea shop, he was in a celebratory mood like everyone else, so maybe he has hope for the future, maybe his mother's still out there. But we just don't know these things. And it ended off with Katara and Aang in a loving embrace. And that's basically the end. I guess there's nothing more that really could be said. After all, they say third time's a charm, and I believe that real fans of the show, we've been charmed with either results. Even though you may think that it was a disappointment, but if you're a fan of the show, you know that it's not a disappointment. You would know that when it comes to television, when it comes to certain things, not everything is going to be wrapped up in a nice little package. Some things are going to have to be left up for speculation. And I guess, especially if you are a shipping fan, you can just keep the ships in your mind. Just think of all those good times where a couple could have been started but hasn't. But those of us who live in the world of canon know what happens because we have seen the show, and that's all that can be said, as disappointed as you are. So, what did you guys think about it? But this is just my opinion. I felt that it was great, and I really don't feel that there's any more that could have been said. Mind you, I was actually expecting a fourth book, because they covered only 3 of the elements, and the only element left is air. Some people are saying the fourth book should have been about Aang's growing up, finding out he's an avatar. The fourth book should also probably cover more ground that hasn't in the series 3 finale, because we're not even sure about the grounds of Toph's parents, Zuko's mother, and the fate of Azula. So that's basically that. However, I do have a link in the video's description that does confirm a new series of Avatar. However, because it's on the grounds of Wikipedia, you can never truly be sure. But there's an interview that goes into the link. It's in this video's description. And also, as a site that I love to promote, TV Tropes Wiki, which also gives a breakdown of the Avatar, the last end of the show, and there's a character sheet in there as well. That link is also in this video's description. So, that's that. Will there be more to come? I certainly hope so. Mediaman5005 signing out.